If you are a US investor and you ignore the signals flashing around HBAR right now, you are going to get left behind. The common belief is that Hedera is some kind of sleeping giant. But the hard truth? Wall Street isn't waiting. They are building the on-ramps as we speak, while everyone else is distracted. And by the end of this, you will see the undeniable proof that this institutional takeover is already in motion. Right now, while the retail market is chasing the next shiny object, Wall Street is quietly, methodically laying the plumbing for a massive move into the Hedera ecosystem. Now, this isn't just speculation. It's not a guess. The pieces are already being put on the board. And in this explainer, we're going to reveal that evidence step by step.
Okay, let's just get right into the massive disconnect here, because it's all summarized on this slide. On the left, you've got what retail sees: meme coins, Twitter fights, the usual noise. But on the right, that's what the institutions see. They're focused on the quiet, foundational, game-changing moves, like regulated price feeds and actual sovereign nations adopting the tech. We're about to pull back that curtain and show you what is really going on.
So let's kick it off with Section 1, and honestly, this is probably the most critical piece of evidence we have. We're calling it Wall Street's HBAR Playbook. This is the direct, undeniable link between Hedera and the biggest financial players on the planet. First, you have to understand just how heavy this name is. The CME Group. It's not just another crypto exchange. No way. This is the world's largest derivatives marketplace. This is the arena where Wall Street trades literally everything, from oil and gold to Bitcoin futures. For U.S. institutional capital, this is the main gateway. Period. And this isn't some vague partnership announcement. Get this. On December 29th, the CME Group is officially launching regulated real-time price feeds for HBAR. This isn't a rumor. It's not some proposal being kicked around. It's a confirmed, locked-in launch date. It's happening. So why does this one move matter so much? Look at this slide. This shows you the playbook. This is not a random listing. This is step 1. The absolute crucial first step on the exact same path that Bitcoin and Ethereum took to get their ETFs. You start with the CME reference rate, and that's exactly where we are right now. The next logical step, regulated futures. And the final prize, spot ETF approval. The institutional plumbing is literally being installed right before our eyes. Okay, let's move on to Section 2 because the story just keeps building. This isn't only about finance. Hedera's influence is now expanding directly to the people who write the rules, the global rule makers themselves. Just recently, the Hedera Council welcomed its first ever strategic partner, and that partner is the Global Blockchain Business Council, or GBBC. Now, let me be crystal clear. This isn't just another company joining the council. This is something else entirely. The GBBC is the single largest, most influential industry association for blockchain on the planet. We're talking about over 500 powerful institutional members. What this means is that Hedera now has a direct line to the biggest corporate players in the game. It gives them a seat at the very table where the rules for the future of this industry are being decided. And their reach is just massive. Look at this number, 124. That's how many global jurisdictions the GBBC has ambassadors in. This isn't about marketing, folks. This is about policy. This single partnership connects Hedera directly with government policymakers and Fortune 500 companies all over the world. They're helping write the global standards for enterprise adoption. All right, so we've covered the money and the policy. The narrative now escalates to the ultimate sign of trust. Let's get into Section 3, a nation goes on chain. This is where all the theory becomes cold, hard reality. So, the big question is, which sovereign government just looked at all the options and made the decision to build its most critical national infrastructure on top of the Hedera network? The answer is the nation of Georgia. Its Ministry of Justice has officially signed a deal to build directly on Hedera. And no, this is not some small pilot program. They are migrating their entire National Land Registry. I'm talking critical, sovereign data onto the network. Not only that, they're actively exploring the tokenization of real estate. This is the moment Hedera officially moves from being a speculative asset to becoming the actual trust layer for an entire nation. Okay, so with all this talk about institutions and governments, you might be thinking, well, that's great, but is the retail side completely dead? Not even close. Let's jump to Section 4, Proof of Retail Life.
While the big institutions are busy building the superhighways, the grassroots ecosystem is absolutely thriving. Just look at these numbers from a single NFT marketplace, SentX, in just the last 30 days. We are talking over 6 million HBAR in volume and more than 17,000 individual sales. This data completely demolishes the narrative that retail has packed up and left. It proves there is serious, powerful momentum on all fronts.
And all of this, every single piece of evidence, brings us to our final section, number 5. This is your final warning.
Look, the evidence is all here. We've laid it out. You have the institutional plumbing being built by the CME Group. You have the global policy influence from the GBBC. And you have sovereign nation adoption from the country of Georgia. This is not a random collection of bullish headlines, folks. This is a coordinated, undeniable trend. The choice of what you do with this information, well, that's entirely up to you.
If you want to get ahead of these institutional tidal waves, you absolutely must be subscribed to Crypto Global News. Like this explainer, share it with somebody who really needs to see this, but most importantly, make sure you are subscribed right now. And don't just subscribe, smash that notification bell. In a market that moves this fast, getting information an hour late is the same as getting it a year late. You simply cannot afford to miss these critical updates. And for the kind of intelligence we simply cannot share on this platform, you have to join our uncensored Telegram. Use the QR code right there on your screen or click the link down in the description. The real alpha, it gets shared there first. So we've covered the CME Group, the GBBC, and a sovereign nation. But who is the fourth silent giant moving into the Hedera ecosystem right now? Subscribe and make sure that bell is on because you are not going to want to miss that reveal. And while you wait for that reveal, you need to understand how all of these institutional moves are going to impact the rest of the market. Click the card you see right here on the screen and watch our analysis on what this means for the top 10 altcoins.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.